Peace and blessings coming to you live from North Las Vegas, Nevada. Peace and more peace to everybody worldwide. My name is Anthony Calori, and this is Preciate your podcast. Thank you for being here. Episode 2 in video format, and I'm just grateful, keeping it moving forward, and ain't nothing to it but to do it. So I'm here once again, and grateful for anybody and everybody that's viewing into the first chapter of this journey that we're on together. Feeling good today, and I hope you are too. And I'm sure I'll have some point in my day where I don't feel so great, but that's all right. Those things happen in life, obviously. And you just got to push through it. And when I find myself being real upset or mad about stuff, and then that moment passes and I feel fine, I ask myself, was I acting earlier? Was I acting upset? Was I acting mad? Because now that I'm calm and cool and feeling good, I feel like myself, and that didn't feel like me earlier. So I don't want to put on an act. And if I could be me through hard times and challenges, what might that look like? It's not the acting upset person or self-righteous, prick that I'm pretending to be when I'm upset about something or feel like things aren't going my way, And I'm also not that weak person that I'm pretending to be. But, being discouraged is real. And so, fight through that discouragement. It happens, and ain't nothing to it but to do it, man. You just got to keep it moving. Keep moving. Stay active. Don't talk yourself out of going to the gym. Don't talk yourself out of practicing or making that phone call to a friend or a family member. And, just do the right thing. And the right thing is what your gut is telling you to do. Just do it. Don't give in to just scrolling endlessly on the gram or, eating a whole family-sized bag of Doritos instead of going for a walk. You'll thank yourself later if you, do the right thing. And when I say do the right thing, right by you, do right by yourself. And take your own advice, the advice that you would give somebody else, that love and compassion that you would give someone else who needs your help. Just treat yourself like that person, like that family member or that friend that is in need, and is going through a hard time. So, pretend like you're getting paid, to help somebody, and don't do any malpractice and be like, oh, you're having a hard time doing, laying off the dope. Well, I mean, just one more time, just one last time, because there's never that one last time, I've been trying to give up the nicotine for a minute, and it ain't easy, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so I feel you. But yeah, just know it's normal. And in a way, you're special, but you're not special, Life is not easy, it's not fair, but it's good, And so just know that when you're going through some shit and you're like, man, what the fuck, man? Why me? Why me? It's like, it's not just you, it's everybody. It's everybody. We're all struggling, but we could all persevere through it as well, So fuck it, get up, have some balls, have some ovaries, whatever it is, whatever makes you feel like you can do this shit. You know what I mean? Knock it out, handle it. Ain't nothing stopping you. Nothing can stop you. Nothing can phase you. Nobody cares in the best way. So there's nothing to be self-conscious about or insecure about, because fuck them, fuck them. And and yeah, I mean, yeah. But anyway, God is good and life is good, and yeah, we're here another day. I picked up my lady. Her name is April, from the airport yesterday. Didn't see her for a few days. She was out of town doing some family stuff, and and it was great. And we hadn't been spending a lot of quality time together because our schedules are so opposite. And so it was nice to go out to dinner and catch up, and just kind of get on the same page about things, which I think is the key to a healthy relationship. Communication. And every once in a while, we do this exercise called team. And I'm sure a lot of women have heard about it, but it's an acronym for touch, education, affirmation, and metrics. Right? So you hold the person's hand. You don't have to hold each other's hand the whole time, but you just take each other by the hand and show some affection of some kind. And that's how you kick it off. You physically connect in this during this intellectual and emotional activity, whatever it's called. And so, we start with doing that. And then the education part could be something you've learned about yourself, something you've read, in a book, or you're learning, something you've been studying or looking into. It could be self-reflective or educational, and so you just kind of share stuff that you've been getting into or whatever. And it's a cool way to like talk about yourself and for the other person to listen and take interest in something you've been interested in or reflecting on recently. And then the A is for affirmation. And then that's kind of showing some kind of appreciation and like affirming, good things about the other person, or recognizing, stuff that you have noticed that they've been doing for you or for themselves, recognizing some kind of strength or improvement, and none of it is like, backhanded either. That's what's cool about it. It's very, it's a good time to be honest and give somebody their props, without being all jokey or whatever. Because the next thing is metrics, and the metrics is areas where the other person could improve, or something that's been on your mind that you haven't really had the chance to communicate. And so it's a real healthy thing, and it's not something you got to speed through either. You can take your time, figure out how to put it in the right words where you can respectfully say um, your needs or concerns, and also and listen, take it in. And it's a good time to like not be like reactive. It's not an argument. You do these things when you're having a good time, especially having a night out, or at the not necessarily the grocery store, but it's good if you're gonna go get coffee together or have dinner, or just kind of sitting in the living room chilling, watching TV, having a good time, and break away from the kind of everyday, getting through the day robotic bullshit that we all do for too long. um, you know and and so yeah, it was nice to do that and get on the same page about stuff, because it's necessary. As men, like for me, for the longest time, we would do this exercise. And when it came to the metrics part, where I had to not necessarily critique, but express some kind of like need or concern or whatever it is, I had always had nothing to say, because you want to spare your woman's feelings, or you feel you want to be strong or not be perceived as weak by needing something. And so Um, I've come a long way, and so now I understand that it's all right to have needs and wants and express, concerns, and how to do it in an intellectual way, not a dumb, fucking stupid, uh, I'm good or, whatever. So it was real nice, man. It was real nice. I got some sushi from the spot in Chinatown off Spring Mountain Road in Las Vegas. This place called Nico. Super bomb, A1, really great food. And yeah, just, it was nice, man. I'm grateful. Shout out to the Nico chain. They got, they're so popular, they have two locations right next to each other because they got so much business. So they have like two restaurants, but they belong to the same owner, which was really cool. And so we get to just catch up, man. Just catch up is important. You can get lost in work and routine, and so yeah, yeah. So fellas, talk to your lady. Don't be scared to have needs and wants, and tell her, you know, hey, this is what I need from you. If we're gonna move forward in this relationship, these are my concerns. These are my demands, and with all due respect, and trust me, women are gonna do that already. So you might as well meet her halfway and say, hey, okay, well that's what you need. I respect that. I will try my best, and I will fulfill those needs. And this is what I want and need as well. So it's cool. It's cool. I dig it. I got no complaints, man. I got no complaints. Um, Moving on, we had a fly weekend of boxing. Haney Garcia. I know a lot of people caught that shit. It was a real spectacle leading up to the fight. Ryan Garcia talking about the Illuminati and all this crazy shit, and drinking and smoking and partying. And I seen him partying the night before the fight, and he still got the win. And I thought Haney was gonna win. I'm not gonna front. Um, Haney grew on me over time, but you know, it could be anybody's night. And so it was a hell of a fight, extremely entertaining. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. With UFC completely eclipsing the sport of boxing, the entire sport. I don't care what belt or whatever. UFC has completely eclipsed the sport. It's not even close. But so we need guys and entertaining characters in the sport like Ryan Garcia. And so I'm not with all the suck my dick shit. But at the same time, everybody loves a villain, and when the villain wins, people can't help but go crazy. So I'm not saying that Ryan Garcia as a person is a villain, but the character. You know what I'm saying? The character. Um, like I've said before, I don't view any of these guys in entertainment or in sports, these public figures, as people. When I speak about them, I talk about them as characters, like wrestling characters or characters in a movie or in a story or a book or something like that. So you'll never hear me on any platform shitting on someone as a person, because I don't know any of these people and I don't know their hearts either, but you're put the public figure that you are is up for critique. Therefore, you will be criticized, just like my big dumb stupid face will on this podcast. I'm sure someone's gonna say this guy's a fucking idiot, and this is the most boring, dumb. Who does this fucking retard think he is? Fuck this guy. And hey, it is what it is, man. I'm not here. I'm not here to I'm not here to convince you otherwise. Like, hey, on the last episode, somebody said I look like a lesbian. It's like, what does that even mean? But who cares? Who cares? Post and ghost, as the great Joe Rogan once said. So, anyways, entertaining fight. I don't even want them to rematch. I don't care. Javante Davis, Baltimore City Zone, is who I would like to see fight next at the end of the year. Be dope to see Terrence Crawford after he whoops this Madrimov dude. Him and Jerome Boots Ennis. Um, them fighting at the end of the year will be fly. And then after Javante, hopefully, like I said, it's anybody's night. So, but hopefully, as a fan, I'm not saying hopefully like it matters or anything, but hopefully Javante gets through Frank Martin and respect to Frank Martin, great fighter. Um, if he gets through him and Ryan Garcia could fight at some kind of catch weight, so that'd be fly. Two biggest fights, people will buy those pay-per-views. Everybody will make a lot of money, even though that's got nothing to do with me. But as boxing fans, we have to demand that, the big fights get made, because I hate seeing my favorite fighters once a year. It doesn't make sense as a boxing fan. In the UFC, you get to see your favorite fighter fight like 3 times a year, which is great, which is awesome. And the fights and matchmaking in that league uh, are incredible. So it's not even a fucking. You can't even compare the two at this point. With UFC 300 and how spectacular that whole card was and all those fights were, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Sport of boxing has been buried, but we can still have great fights, and that's all we want to see. Um, yeah, moving on, moving on. Um, 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 I haven't smoked any weed since July of last year, and it's been cool. It's been cool. I definitely prefer it, but the addict in me still wants to get high. And I drink every once in a while. I got that joint under control, which is cool. I don't miss it because I don't even drink in moderation. I barely ever drink, which is cool. But part of me wants to, do it all. I've had a daily habit for years and years and years. So I still do the little vape thing. I used to smoke cigarettes, and I quit that. And then I went to a concert one day after not smoking for a couple years. Not smoking cigarettes for a couple years, and I hit somebody's vape pen, and my brain said, "We're doing this." And so, that's just how it goes. But I'll kick it soon. I'll kick it soon. But yeah, no weed in almost a year, and it feels great. It feels great. My mind is clear when I go to the store. I'm not afraid of having a conversation with someone else who's shopping, or an interaction with the cashier. I'd be super high in the store, like, oh shit, just like, I don't know, I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. But now it's easier to have small talk with folks, and I like just not being completely blown and my mind playing tricks on me about anything. I get to actually be productive when I sit down at the piano, and it's cool. It's cool. I have my routines, and I stick to them. I stick to them. The weed's not swaying me from being disciplined, and I know for some people it doesn't phase them like that, but I just got to keep it real. I'm far more social in myself when I'm not high as shit all fucking day, so. And I'm not even proud of myself for not getting high. It's not that big a deal in the grand scheme of life. But for me, it's been just a nice change of pace and a healthy decision for me mentally. And, if you're struggling to give up the weed, just do it, man. Just fucking do it. You know, I'm a hypocrite, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm about to, what I'm saying? But I'm not getting high. And so, that feels good. Whatever that means. I don't know what point I'm trying to make, but for a long time, between me and getting a good job was just getting high, and worrying about taking a piss test. And so, and even then, I wouldn't give up the weed, because it felt like it was a part of my identity. And recently, at work, I've had a few people ask me if I smoke, cause you know, and before I'd be like, oh no, I just quit, or I stopped on July the 6th of, it was like this whole explanation so I can still be like, nah, I'm on a journey right now, but now I'm just like, nah, I don't smoke, I don't smoke. I just don't feel the need to explain myself because feel comfortable with who I am, and it sounds real pathetic at 32 years old to like try to hold on to this thing that you've been doing since you were 14. And because it feels so much a part of your identity. But at this point, I'm just like, yeah, I'm a dork. I don't smoke. So, yeah. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Um, I asked for a couple questions for this week's podcast or for today's podcast, and let's get into it. Let's get into it. First question was can you define being a gentleman? And without giving it that much thought, I'll say being a gentleman is always opening the door for your lady, whether it's the car door or the door going into a place. Um, I would say it's walking on the sidewalk with her on the inside part in case a car comes flying by. It hits you first, or putting yourself between her and someone walking past them. I would say it's not cussing and saying type shit after everything. I would say if you're saying type shit when you're talking to a lady, um, that's not being a gentleman. She asks you, what do you do? Like, oh, yeah, I work at a warehouse, warehouse type shit. It's like, you can't be a little boy forever, And the question is being a gentleman, not a cool guy, you know. Um, I would say it's paying for the tab. Um, I would say it's being respectful towards her family, her parents. As long as they're giving you respect. I would say it's getting a lady flowers, listening. Doing gentlemanly type stuff. You know, and I would say that's good enough to answer the question. Just don't be a shithead, cussing all the time, saying type shit, and oh fuck, I don't know, and sound like a fucking idiot. Listen, be honest, open the door for her. Pay the tab, dress nice enough. You know, um, and this is all dating type stuff. I don't care what you drink. I don't care what brand of clothes you wear. I don't care what kind of car you drive. or where you live or what your financial situation is. That's got nothing to do with being a gentleman. You know, it's how you conduct yourself. With your character and just being a respectful, just being someone who demands respect, commands respect, and is able to filter their lowest self in a conversation, and not being a fucking narcissistic prick and thinking of yourself all the time. A gentleman is considerate, and not a complete fucking moron. Basically, you gotta leave the hood shit alone. Gotta leave the cool guy shit alone. Um, yeah, yeah. Second question is, why is your music so fly? And I would say it's kind of it's more of a compliment than it is a question. And to that compliment, I will say thank you if you think so. I'm real hard on myself when it comes to the music that I make and where I want it to be. And I know a lot of people are as well. So as far as my music or my musicianship, I'm nowhere where I want to be. And it's not nearly as fly as I know it can be. Not to be hard on myself publicly in this sense, but that's just truly how I feel. But I would say if anybody thinks it's fly, it's because of people that I'm inspired by. Gil Scott Heron, Dame Funk, Kiefer, Prince, um, and not just Gil Scott Heron. To circle back on that, he's an inspiration to me as a poet and as a singer. Not that I sing or anything, but I love his singing voice. But Brian Jackson, who produced and played a lot of piano and keyboard on all that great music that they did together. Um, and Bill Evans, um, Kenny Barron. These are all people that you should look up and check out their music. Even and even guys like Mike Mosley and Sam Bostic, Kyrie from Young Black Brother Records. Um, all these guys, DJ Quick. I look up to all these guys, and so if there's anything that's remotely fly in my music, without these people that have inspired me, you wouldn't even be thinking that. It's not. Uh, it's through me. It's not of me, and so I'm inspired by these great musicians. Um, I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. Uyama Hiroto, the guy who played a lot of keys on Nujibi's stuff. A great Japanese composer, producer, multi instrumentalist. These are all guys that have inspired me over the years, and still I reach for the level of musicianship and greatness that I believe that they have. Um, so yeah, if my music flies because of all those guys who've inspired me in my trying to emulate and put my own spin on the things that they have done and blessed us with in their careers. Um, so yeah, that's my answer for that. Um, yeah. Um, and then those are only two questions I got for the episode from people, and I'm okay with that. My heart is not broken by that. I know eventually, because I have, you know, faith and belief that this podcast is going to go well and um, we'll have a larger audience. I'll say in a short in a short amount of time from now. Um, yeah, those are the only two quote unquote fan questions that I got, and that's all G. I appreciate that. I appreciate the compliment, and it is what it is. And so, because of that, I brought up a couple questions I found from the interweb that I'll gloss over real quick. What's your favorite drink? My favorite alcoholic drink is a gin and tonic. And that's just like, I'm going out, I'm by myself, and I'm, just chilling on some cool shit. And I want something that I know is going to do what it's supposed to do real quick. A gin and tonic, some Tanqueray, and some soda water or whatever. Some slightly flavored tonic water with a lime, and that's it. Um, and then the other one is an old fashioned. I'm a simple guy, so I like my liquor hard, to the point. Not a lot of flash or frills or whatever that expression is. And yeah, and my favorite non-alcoholic drink is water. Um, what do I hope never changes? Um, Never changes. Not sure. I think change is good as long as it's for the better. Um, Say I hope something never changes. I hope people always, if I can answer it that way, have faith that most people are good. I know it's people like to say that it's such a divisive time, but I don't believe that. Maybe if you're plugged into the social media and the internet and you're reading the bullshit fucking news or watching, those cocksuckers on whatever news outlet, insert blank news, um, that people aren't basing their opinion about the people being divided off of that. I'll go on the internet and I'll see a bunch of wild shit. People talking crazy about, politics and social stuff. And then I go to the grocery store and I don't see all that, fucking and fighting that, you see on social media. So I hope that people will, with their own eyes into the real world, always or not forget that most of us are good people, flawed but good, and mean well for ourselves and our families and friends, and our neighbor even, and we just don't forget that. I hope that never changes. If that answers the question. Um, what job would you be terrible at? Um, Anything sales related. I've done sales. I'm not good at it. I'll sell somebody something cheap as hell that will do what they need and not upsell a soul. I'm just not good at it. It's not my thing, man. Getting money, pimping somebody's psychology and being like, no, you don't need the $300 guitar. You need the $1,500 guitar. I know it's your first guitar, but you'll never need another one. It's like, learn some chords and shit on this cheap guitar. And once you can play a couple tunes and you want the shit to sound better than this, come back. And then when you come back, the $1,500 guitar might be on sale for 12, you know, and then you end up paying the 1,500 anyway, and that's just how my mind works. I have a hard time pimping people and getting over on a motherfucker, selling them a $1,500 anything so I can make $15. That's that's wrong. You know? So sales for sure. And what age do you want to live to? Um, I don't know. I think 80 would be cool. Yeah, I think 80 would be pretty fly. I don't want to. I'm hoping to have a child soon. So if they get to be into their late 40s or 50s when it's time for me to fucking get out of here, I'll be okay with that. You know, any younger than that, and uh, yeah, it's just not cool. It's not cool. But it's not my decision. I know that's not the question, but um, I have a lot of friends who's lost parents at a young age. And um, it's not easy. And so, of course, everybody's answer is going to be to live a long life. But yeah, never mind, never mind. I don't even know where I'm going with that. Um, and last question, one last question. What takes up too much of your time? My day job. My day job, man. To do this music thing, this podcast thing, this small business, talking to the children, the youth. I wish that would take up all of my time, but my day job, yeah, it's too much, man. Too much. It's not. It serves me, helps me tremendously financially, or maybe not even tremendously. It just helps me financially because you need money to live, and especially not even especially, you just need some money, man. And so, but do I love it? No. Am I grateful for it? Yes. Do I love going there? No. But do I do it without a bad attitude? Yeah. So, um, but it does take up too much of my time. All about my time as a kid. Things were a lot of bullshit going on. Felt very out of control of my time and where I had to be and all that stuff, and just had a lot of responsibility that like was a lot. It just took up a lot of my time as a kid, and I didn't have a lot of freedom. And so now, as an adult, the first thing I did when I turned 18 and 19 was like all of my time is mine, and I became really selfish. And so, I've learned to grow out of that in my relationship and learn how to be more flexible with my time and be more considerate of other people's time as well. But my time is everything to me. It's everything. I don't even like vacation. I love being productive, being creative, being active, and I also like to do nothing, which I think is one of the greatest activities in the world. But I like to do it on my time, and um, so yeah, my day job. But one day we won't be having this conversation, and all of our dreams will come true, and and uh, and yeah, yeah. I'm starting to get a little lost here, and what the fuck I'm even talking about. So I think we're approaching about 40 minutes now, something like that. And with that being said, I'm gonna just wrap it up. Um, Wrap it up like a you know what. And yeah, I'm gonna play a little tune to get up out of here. I appreciate you tuning in. I know I'm a little low energy today. I'm kind of tired, but I appreciate you. And we'll have another episode real soon. I'm trying to drop 2 a week, keep things flowing, keep things in motion, and yeah, and that's that. But thank you. Peace. and blessings and more peace to everybody worldwide. Again, my name is Anthony. This is the Appreciate You podcast, and I'll be seeing y'all soon. I love you.